Here we are with Artemisia Gentileschi's self-portrait as the allegory of painting. So in this self-portrait, we see Artemisia, and she is dressed in a fairly fine dress. She's got these really fancy silk sleeves that we'll look at in a little bit more detail. And she's in the act of painting. She's not stopped to look at us. Instead, she's looking beyond her canvas at whatever subject she's painting. She has her paint palette in one hand, her brush in the other, and it's as if we're coming upon her in this moment. A Baroque moment? I told you, they're everywhere. So, all right, going to the title of this though, Self-Portrait as an Allegory. Do you know what an allegory is? You guessed it, it's your next vocabulary term. So, allegory. Allegory is an image or images that symbolize an idea, a concept, or a principle. It's similar to personification, but different. An allegory is a larger abstract idea that can be visually manifested as a person or as a series of people doing something. So in this case, Artemisia as the allegory, she is presenting this abstract idea. You could say she's a personification, but the term allegory is in the title, so why not just give you allegory? So allegories. Now, how is she an allegory of painting? Well, to keep track of all of these personifications, allegories, icons, breaking understanding of meaning or symbols of these visual forms, there was a book. Yes, you would be trained and you would understand these, but thankfully in 1593, Cesare Ripa wrote a handbook for artists called Iconography. And in this handbook, he defines allegory of painting as, quote, a beautiful woman with disheveled hair in the act of painting with a brush in one hand and a palette in the other. She wears a gold chain to represent the link between master and pupil, or generation to generation. And on that gold chain hangs a pendant of a mask, because masks are symbols of imitation, which is what painting is. It's not the real thing, it's a painting of the thing. Let's walk through this allegory. Okay, Ripa says allegory of painting is a young woman with disheveled hair in the act of painting with a brush in one hand and a palette in the other. Okay. On her, she will wear a gold chain representing the link between master and pupil. And on that gold chain is a mask to symbolize painting as an imitation. Artemisia, you're so smart. So here, she's not just giving us a self-portrait. She is proclaiming herself to be painting. I am a painter. I paint. Don't define me as simply a woman. I am a painter and I paint. What is she painting? She doesn't tell us. She doesn't show us. Instead, her brush is poised right at the edge of the canvas, and she's looking beyond. She does this to not limit herself. With her brush poised at the end of the canvas, it could be anything. She paints the world. Don't limit her painting ability or her painting subject. She can paint anything. And she is in this moment. She's also showing off with that sleeve. I told you about this sleeve. I said it's a fancy sleeve. What she's wearing here, this is not what she would really be wearing when she's painting. Her hair would be up, but she would have some kind of a smock to protect her clothes from the oil paint. So instead, she's shown herself to be wearing a fairly nice blouse with this fantastic sleeve because she wants to show off her skill as a painter. What she has here is this green and red shot silk sleeve. Shot silk looks like this. Shot silk is silk threads that are of two different colors, and when they are woven together, they create this sheen, that this luster that lets you see both of them at the same time. It's an extremely difficult and extremely expensive fabric. I'm showing you here the example of red and green, but really you could do any two color silk threads together. I'm showing you red and green because that's what she's wearing here. How is this showing off? Well, not only is it an expensive fabric, it's crazy hard to paint. You try painting a fabric that's two different colors and make it look like it's a sleeve. So she's showing off her skill as an artist and attention to color and depth and light and shadow. She's not the first to use shot silk as a way of showing off. We didn't talk about this painting in this class, but this one here is by a proclaimed, he's a beautiful genius of Venetian Renaissance, and his name is Bellini. And he uses shot silk in his figures. Let me give you a detail. Look, like that. You see that green and red, and then the yellow and blue shot silk of St. Lucy's mantle? So Artemisia, she's trying to prove her ability as a painter. I am a painter and I paint, and look at how good of a painter I am. Oh, she's so cool. Because I want you to see scale. This is how big it is. Also, it helps you in understanding how she's very cleverly placed that brush at the tip of the canvas to not limit herself to whatever she is painting. Artemisia.